From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And boy, oh boy, it is a crazy day in the NBA. And at first, we were going to just talk about Aaron Gordon and where he was going to be on the move to. And then 2 hours after I go ahead and send out my script to my guy, then we get this situation right here. Aaron Gordon winds up being traded to the Denver Nuggets, but I did find out about that late last night that's where it looked like he was going to be headed to, was that he was going to be traded to the Denver Nuggets, and that's exactly what happened. And in that move, the Denver Nuggets were able to move Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first-round draft pick for 2021. And I think that they're looking at it in the sense that they did draft two of these high-end. They drafted a high-end guy in RJ Hampton, who's supposed to be this incredible prep to pro player. But you know what, though? They don't have time to really go ahead and, develop him, because they already have other players that they're developing, such as MPJ, Michael Porter Jr., and Bobo. So there was no reason to just keeping RJ Hampton just so stuck on the end of your bench. So they did the right thing sending him to Orlando. And from what I'm hearing right now is Orlando wants to grow around Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac as well too. And I think that that's a good idea for this team moving forward. I thought that this was the right move. They also sent Vucevic to the Bulls for Wendell Clark. And also Otto Porter was a part of that trade as well, too. So, you got a lot of things. You got a lot of moving parts right now. You also got two first-round draft picks as well, too, going back over to Orlando, I think. So the thing is, they're just tearing down the house right now. Fournier was sent to the Celtics for two second-round picks last night. So that's exactly what they're doing. Norman Powell has been sent to Portland. In exchange, I'm trying to remember who in exchange for who, but they did trade him for two players, and one of them is Gary Trent, who they traded for. So they got that out the way as well too. So there's a lot of moving parts going on right now in the NBA, and there weren't as many trades made as everybody felt that they were going to be made, but there was a good one that was made in a sense for Atlanta, but I don't know if it was the best trade for the Clippers, but I think that it was a spite trade for the Clippers as well too. Lou Williams has been sent back home to Atlanta and for the rights for Rajon Rondo. So, pretty much you can get on all those lemon pepper wings nightly again and, have a good old time with that. So pretty much that's what I have for you on the trade deadline and everything like that. Is so many moving parts. So you guys go to NBA.com if you want to go ahead and see all the trades and how they went down and how deals were finalized and all that good stuff. Now it looks like the Knicks were trying to add a star at the deadline as well too. That did not work out, but from what I'm hearing right now, the Knicks have put themselves in the race for Andre Drummond as well too, with the Lakers also in that group as well. So this is going to be pretty fun come this weekend when the guys are starting to get bought out and everything of that nature, and then we'll see exactly what happens after that. But all in all, though, the NBA trade deadline is always a fun time of the year. A lot of fans get super excited and then get super disappointed when they find out that all those rumored trades, that just phone calls that were made and offers did not come into play, because you got that one person who I guess is like the assistant to the assistant listening to the GM's conversations outside the door, And, you sit over to Woj, and then, Woj gets excited, and then he gets you excited, and then nothing happens. So pretty much, why? Because you leaked the deal, silly. So pretty much it is what it is. So the Knicks are doing the right thing. They're looking for a star. I like that. The Knicks, from what I'm hearing, they are going to be going very, very deep in free agency next year as well, too. So it should be fun. So the Knicks, a star is on the way, New York, and it's not going to be going to Brooklyn. It's going to be going right to you in Midtown Manhattan. All right, let's talk about the player of the night last night, and that was Mr. DeAaron Fox. And Mr. DeAaron Fox had himself a game last night, actually beating the Hawks, who were kind of somewhat favored in the game. But DeAaron did not care about any of that last night. He went ahead, took care of his business, got 37 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And you know what? DeAaron Fox might be the most underrated player in the NBA. They do not talk about this guy enough, but he is the one that is leading the pack here in Sacramento. And he also has a good little running mate there in Thais Halliburton as well, too. So I like the future of this backcourt in Sacramento. They know that they need to add some more pieces. They were trying to get rid of Marvin Bagley today as well, too. That did not commence, but I think they'll be getting rid of him by the summertime, if anything. So pretty much, man, the Sacramento Kings might not look like much now, but I think in a bit they'll be a really good team, man. Believe it or not, man. They got a lot of good pieces in place. Hopefully they let Luke stick around for another year or so to try to get this thing right and get this team into the playoffs, but we'll see how it goes. But once again, congratulations to DeAaron Fox on a clutch win last night, putting up 37 points, putting his team over the top, getting himself a big win last night for his boys. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the state of the Lakers. And the Lakers did not make any monster moves today in the free agent in the trade market. They got a pretty tough game tonight going against the Philadelphia 76ers. A lot of people thought Trez and KCP and Schroeder were on their way out, but these guys are still here. And I'm happy that they're still here. I'm in agreement with the coach. The coach said that he felt like the team did not need to be, switched around. We didn't need to shift any parts or anything like that. I think he's absolutely right because he's with these guys day in and day out, and their chemistry is so good together. You don't want to bring in somebody brand new who might mess up the chemistry. So the Lakers, you know what? It's just a matter of time. This is how good movies are written. I remember when the Lakers were dealing with this similar situation back in the day when they were during the three-peat run. During the second three-peat run, that season was not a great season for the Lakers at all. Kobe was hurt half the year. Shaq was hurt half the year. And by the time they got together, it was like the last month and a half of the season, and the Lakers were able to get themselves into the playoffs as a third seed that year, I think. And they were able to run the table. And I think, once again, the Lakers only lost one game that year as well, too. So, come on, guys. Let's just have some patience. Everything's going to work itself out. And we just go, you just go from there. That's all you got to do. So pretty much the Lakers tonight, they could pose an upset. But you know what? It's going to be tough, man, because the 76ers are really good. They don't have Embiid tonight, but this team is really good right now up under Doc Rivers. They're not the same team they were up under Coach Brown. They are now look like an elite team, a consistent elite team as well, too. So I really do think the Lakers, they're going to give it their best effort, but it's going to be a tough one tonight once again against the East leading 76ers. So we're going to see how it shakes out and see how it goes, but that is the state of the Lakers for today. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about 30 teams in 30 days. And oh boy, I thought Texas was bad. I thought Arizona was bad, but damn, Colorado's pretty bad too because they lost their best player, Renato. And their best players are probably sitting somewhere in the farm, but they still got my man, Charlie Blackwood. Charlie is an absolute beast, man, and you got to love his beard as well, too. And he should have himself another big season, but he should be one of the guys that actually is going to be on the move for some more assets. So, Charlie Blackman, great player, man. I think that all in all, though, 292 batting average, and then you get him 23 home runs, 78 RBIs, 87 runs as well too. And that's going to be another good all-star season for Charlie Blackmon, one of the more consistent players in the major leagues. And I think that he's a guy that definitely reserves the right to play on a much better team at this point. So I really do like Charlie Blackmon. I really do like where they're going with this as well, too. Pretty much with him still having him be the star of the team. But I think at the end of the day, he will yield plenty of assets for these guys moving forward so they can make themselves, a credible contender somewhere down the road. Not now, but somewhere down the road, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years or so. But Charlie Blackmon, absolute monster, absolute beast. And man, oh man, I expect him to have another great season as well, too. And when I look at the over-unders for this squad, you got a team that finished 4th place last year in the NL West. I think this year they wind up finishing dead last in this group, to be dead honest with you. I'm going to have them actually going under 63.5 games. And we're going to see how it goes and see how it shakes out. But I really don't see Colorado having that good of a season this year. And it is what it is at the end of the day. So with that, you guys go ahead and check out our great sponsor, HatClub.com. You guys can go ahead and get the 10% off on any $50 order or better. Once again, press the link in the show description. You guys will receive 10% off on any $50 order or better at www.hatclub.com. So with that, we will be right back with the premier sports betting show with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And this is and go to commercial. Damn it.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube. All right, we are back with the primetime angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the premier sports betting show. So pretty much here we are. We have Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and we have ourselves a very, very, some fun going on this weekend. So Sunday, let's talk about the East region real quick. In the Sweet 16, we got Michigan as the number 1 seed, and we have Florida State as the number 4 seed. And pretty much this is a pretty formful when you look at it. You have yourself pretty much a very good group here with Michigan, who wound up having a pretty good comeback last week as well too in their Sunday game. In their Monday game, because it looked like LSU was about to put them out, to be that honest with you, the way that they played in the first half. But Michigan was able to get spurts going and find themselves with good leads, and they wound up covering in that game and everything. And pretty much I think with that, this is a team that now is very confident in themselves to get all the way to the Final Four. But as I said before, as I've been saying all season, Florida State is a wild card. They're a helter-skelter. And if this team wants to out-athlete you, they're going to out-athlete you. and they can wind up winning the game. But the only thing that irks me about Florida State is the poor shooting of Florida State. The team does not shoot that well at all, to be dead honest with you. They really are at the rim type of team, and I think that's something that can actually prove against a team like Michigan, who loves to shoot. So at the end of the day, this will wind up being a pretty good game. But I think that Florida State is going to actually give Michigan one of their, pretty much give Michigan one of their toughest games of the season, point blank, period, in my opinion. I think that you have to really take them seriously, and Florida State could mess around and really win this game. Because honestly, I don't feel like Michigan's a Final Four team. I know that Juwan Howard is a favorite to a lot of people, and I know that a lot of people love Michigan basketball, but I think Michigan actually comes up short when it comes to getting to the Final Four. So this game right here will be, to me, their toughest game moving forward, because we all know that the winner of the next game coming up, this one, we don't know if they're a Final Four. We got two Final Four teams here or not, but Michigan knows that this one right here is the big obstacle for them, in my opinion, because Florida State is a team that has a lot of NBA players on it. And when I look at Alabama and UCLA, it's not the same result. So we'll see how it goes. And real quick, breaking news, Victor Oladipo has been traded to the Miami Heat for Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk. All right, so we got that out the way. But all in all, back to what I was talking about, we have Michigan at Michigan versus Florida State. It's going to be a hell of a game. I think that it's going to come down to tomorrow on me giving you a solid play for this one as well too. I will have plays for every single game tomorrow as well too. So you guys make sure to tune in for that. So let's go ahead and talk about our second game, the game that's going to be the nightcap for this region, and it's going to be Alabama and UCLA. Alabama is a football school. UCLA is a basketball school. But Alabama's having one of the best seasons they've had in some time. They probably haven't had a season like this since Robert Horry went there. And that was way back in the early 90s. This is like when Shaq was playing in the SEC. So pretty much Alabama now has their mind set on getting to that Final Four. And they have a team that looks like they're capable of getting there, but I think Nate Oates is a little bit too green for that at this point in time. And the way that Mick Cronin coaches his UCLA team, he reminds me so much of all the other really good coaches that get their teams over the top and get their teams to championships and things of that nature, because he always makes them accountable for everything they do. And then he has guys that will literally run through a wall for him. And then when you got the Kentucky transfer, Harvard Westlake superstar Johnny Juzang playing for you, that makes things a little bit easier as well too. And then let me not forget about the effort of Jules Bernard, who's been playing some great basketball as well. So, this team is really coming into their own. They're a really good offensive group, but this time around, though, they're learning how to play much better defense at the same time too. So Alabama does loom the danger as pretty much the toughest team UCLA has faced in the tournament. But I think with that first game against Michigan State, they should be game ready for this Alabama Crimson Tide squad. But I know Alabama's going to bring everything with them, and I know that they're going to be having fans cheering loud and proud for them, because it doesn't matter what sport it is at Alabama, they go hard for it. It could be a gymnastics, badminton. You will have still have rabid fans there going crazy for their Alabama Crimson Tide. So school spirit is alive and well at that college, and UCLA is just trying to go ahead and keep on moving and keep on building on a great basketball journey that they've had over the last 60 years. So we'll see how it goes. And pretty much this should be one of the better games of the weekend as well, too. Alabama, UCLA, and Alabama comes in as a 6.5-point favorite. I think that's either going to go down or it will go up. But all in all, though, this is going to be a much closer game than the spread says it is. All right, so you guys go ahead and check out Paramount Plus. Man, so dope. Paramount Plus, you guys can go ahead and look at all the great 90s shows, and they got all these dope movies as well, too. And pretty much, all those movies that you've been looking for on Netflix and Hulu forever that were Paramount movies, they're on Paramount Plus. So once again, put in the VSX promo code, and you guys will reap the benefits from that as well, too. $9.99 a month with that promo deal, and you guys can get $50 for the whole year as well too. So check it all out, Paramount Plus. We will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Cap.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And boy, oh boy, we have NBA Thursday preview. We got 5 games tonight. And up first, we got ourselves a good one here with the Blazers and the Heat. And the Heat now got Victor Oladipo, you already know. And pretty much, we didn't hear much from Avery Bradley this year, so I don't think that's that big of a loss for them at all. So when you look at it, you got a Miami team coming in here. Miami's been playing kind of bad lately. Miami's actually dropped their last 4 games in a row after having such a good win streak going into the month of March. Now you got the Blazers, who've won their last 3 out of 5 games. Now the Heat, 26 in points scored per game, while the Blazers are 10th. So you look at those numbers and you say to yourself, how are the Heat the favorite here? Well, the Heat are doing things in other categories like 3-pointers made. They're doing pretty good, 551 on the season as well too. And pretty much when you look at everything really favors the Blazers in a sense. But I think though tonight this one will wind up being a much closer game than it looks like on paper. And I think it winds up actually having some scoring to it as well too. So we got a -3 and a 218.5 over under. And Miami being the favorite just because they're at home tonight. And the over under is much lower than it usually is in Blazer games as well too. So either they must know something or they're just going ahead and handing us some money tonight. So there it is, over 218.5, -3 favorite to the Miami Heat. And we move forward. We got the Knicks and the Wizards. The Wizards coming in as a 3-point dog, over under 224.5. You would think it would be lower because the Knicks don't score much nightly. So we're going to see how this one shakes out. We're going to see how this one goes. But I really do like the Washington Wizards and the Knicks game tonight. And I think it winds up being one of those games. So we're going to see how it shakes out, and we'll go from there. So pretty much in our next game, we have a really, 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 really good group here. And I think that this should work out with the Spurs tonight. The Spurs got absolutely shellacked as our dog of the day yesterday. They lost by 33 points, but they'll bounce back tonight. The Clippers are going to be a little shorthanded because, they trading people and, they got people hurt and all that good stuff. But coming in as a 6.5 point favorite on the road, that's always risky business in a sense as well too. So pretty much the Clippers coming into this one trying to sweep the Spurs here in the back-to-back road games against them. Spurs trying to go ahead and split the series and keep themselves above water when it comes to getting into these playoffs. So there it is, Clippers Spurs, another good game tonight. And let's go ahead and see what it do in the fourth game of the night that I have here for you guys. It's going to be the Warriors and the Kings in a good old rivalry game between two teams from the Bay. One's in Silicon Valley in the capital, and the other one is in the Bay. It gets the, reserves rights to Oakland and San Francisco. But all in all tonight, Golden State is curryless, and pretty much the Kings, as I said before, they're moving parts today as well too. So pretty much this should be a really good one. I think actually what happens here, it could be a slight bit of an upset, even though 2.5 to me is never an upset on either side. It's usually, I see it as a pick 'em, but you're getting a little bit of points on one side. And then you have an over under 226.5 as well too. So pretty much when you look at these two, at the end of the day, they are still vying for playoff spots as well too. And the Warriors, they want to stay consistently good so they can build confidence as they go throughout the season and get themselves prepared for the playoffs as well too. So there it is, Warriors at the Kings. Kings 2.5 point favorite, over under 226.5. Let's get it. Let's see how it shakes out. All right. So with that, pretty much you guys go ahead and check out another great sponsor of ours, Fubo TV. And with Fubo TV, you can go ahead and get all the sports channels nightly and enjoy. You can go get the Pac-12 network, the SEC network, the Big Ten network, the AAC network, the ACC network, the NFL network. Should I go on? Just go and press the link, get your 7 days free. If you like it, you can pay $55 a month. No credit checks and no last bill, no, none of that. So once you're done with them, you're done. You get to move on with your life and it's over with, okay? That's Fubo TV, live TV and sports. Boy, oh boy, the future is now. So check them out and go ahead and press that link in the show description. Get your 7 days free on me. All right, so with that, we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Live.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And it's your favorite time of the day on the show. It's time to talk them tickets. And up first, let's talk about the NIT pick 4. I got Mississippi State today with the -145. I think Ben Howland gets his boys home with a good win. And let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But Mississippi State money line -145. Up next, we got North Carolina State with the minus 125 money line in their spot. I think they should be good money as well, too. They look like the team that will probably go ahead and win the NIT as well, too, but it's too early to say something like that. They got to win tonight as well, too. So NC State, let's see how you do. So minus 125 on NC State. Then I got 4.5 on Memphis tonight as well, too. Another great AAC team that was left out of the tournament, but all in all, that doesn't matter. It's all about the team that's sitting in front of them, and I'm most definitely going to take this minus 4.5 on the Memphis Tigers. And then you got Western Kentucky, the runner-up in the Conference USA this year, and I think what happens here is that, you got a team that could possibly go ahead and get themselves a nice win as well, too. You got to remember this team did lose to North Texas in the championship game. So, there's a lot of things working in their favor and working against them as well, too. But I think that Western Kentucky will be good enough tonight. I'm going to take them with the minus 105. Let's see how it shakes out. We'll go from there. All right. NBA Super High Five, 28-1. Well, I'm going to go over 218.5 with the Blazers and the Heat. I'm also going to take the Knicks tonight with the minus 3. Let's see how it goes with that one. I think the Knicks can win this game by 4 or better. Then we got the Spurs with the plus 6.5 tonight as well. Let's see how that one goes. I think that should be pretty good for us as well, too. And then I got the Warriors plus 120 get-back game against Sacramento. And then the Lakers with the Sixers with the under 216 on the scoreboard watching, okay? So under 216, and we scoreboard watching. So it's 28-1 on the ticket. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it shakes out. But all in all, though, that's Talkin Tickets for you. And pretty much you guys make sure to go ahead and check out YouWager. And this is where the world wager is at. You guys can go ahead and put in my promo code VSXPOP. You guys will receive up to 50% on a match deposit. So if you put up $300, they'll go ahead and match you with $150. And from there, you can go ahead and start your betting journey and everything like that. So go ahead and check them out. YouWager, where the world bets at. All right, so I want to go ahead and send a big shout out to my graphics producer. Also send a big shout out to my man Mike Abadir, who I'll be joining later on today on his show as well too. You guys check my Twitter. I tweeted out exactly where to go ahead and tune in for that at. Also wanted to send a big shout out to all the ladies out there. We're getting close to the end of Women's Independence Month or whatever they call it, but we're celebrating Women's Month, right? So shout out to all the hardworking ladies out there that are out there making things happen in the world and making life easier for all of us. So you have to understand that you are much appreciated. My mother, who was a boss in the corporate world back in the 90s and 2000s, much respect to her, and to a lot of the ladies in my life that I know as well too that were very successful. There is no us without you as well too. So ladies, just know you're always appreciated. I haven't said anything about it this month, but I want to say something about it today. And since we're kind of running on a short show, I kind of just chose to talk about it now. So ladies, thank you very much for doing what you do and being who you are as well too. So as I always say, always bet with your head, never with your heart. The movement is moving. And once again, we'll be back tomorrow to go ahead and break down some great bets for over the weekend and some more super high fives and some more breaking news out the NBA, MLB as well, too. So you guys stay tuned. And once again, this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live. And I'm your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.